What's going on, YouTube? As some of you may know, my parents' house was destroyed a few years ago. What? Long story, we won't get into it, but pretty much they don't have a dining room table. They've been eating on like one of those plastic collapsible picnic tables for like the last 3 years. Why not get them a legitimate dining table? So I got this off of Facebook Marketplace for free. It looks very similar to my old dining table. It's a nice round oak table. Also comes with a leaf. You can see it's definitely used some refinishing, but it's nice and heavy. I've never refinished anything. This video is not a how-to. This is what I did, and if you like what I did, maybe you learn something, maybe you learn what not to do. Alright, so now that I've got it assembled, give it a quick clean, just a dry cloth. And then we're gonna use some paint and poly remover. Just gonna apply it, thin layer, and then I'm gonna scrape it off. So I got a paint scraper here. I'm gonna file down the edges. I don't think I did enough safety measures, so I've opened the garage door. Marissa's outside. So as you see, applied one layer of the stripper, let it rest for 15 minutes. And I came back after 15 minutes. It looked, a lot of spots were already pretty dry and it didn't come off very well and it was pretty bad. So I applied another layer and this time I only waited like 5 minutes. I only worked on the sections that were wet. So I would wet 1/3 of it and wait 5 minutes. That made it a lot easier to remove. So you can see it's pretty splotchy. The middle is really good though. There's no splotches on the middle leaf, but both ends have a lot of splotching. I think that's just due to the use. Previous owners probably didn't use the leaf very often, so I sanded off the sides and the sides kind of look the same. They got the same color as the splotches, so I imagine once I sand this down, it'll all look a lot more even.
Not a chance.
I'm gonna use Rubio Monocoat oil plus 2C. Got the accelerator as well. Heard a lot of good stuff about this. That way I don't need to stain the wood and then put like multiple layers of poly on it. This is just an oil that will actually penetrate the wood. Finish should be pretty good. Rubio Monocoat actually recommends sanding this to no more than 150, just because sanding it more than 150 will cause the pores to close up and not bond as well. Shout out to my man Dylan. He's the biggest guy I know. He let me borrow his orbital sander. You the man. So I've got all these like water spots. They were already here when I got this table. I don't know quite how to get rid of them. Like, see all of that? I thought all this stuff would come out after sanding. I actually went down to a 60, which is the lowest that I've got, and it's still not coming out. I'm gonna go do some research.
A few moments later.
Reddit's telling me that I over sanded it, and I've sanded through the veneer, and that's the plywood underneath. I didn't even know what a veneer was. I actually posted a picture of this table on Reddit asking, hey, what are all these marks? How do I get rid of them? And then Reddit's like, yeah, you actually sanded through the veneer. And I'm like, what does that even mean? And I looked it up. Turns out I screwed it up pretty bad. At least the table was free. I've only sanded it to 80, so I'm gonna sand it really quickly to 120 and then just put the coat on. So I've sanded it to 120. I'm just gonna clean the table and then apply the oil. We'll be done. Well, it turned out a lot better than I thought it was going to turn out. How dark this was really helped. Problem is, everyone in the office is going to say I told you so. It does look a little clunky with the light color on the bottom. I really didn't want to do the bottom. I'm all out of oil. Alright, so it's like a week later. This is fully cured, but everyone at work made fun of me. They make fun of me, but Hillary literally held her head in her hands like it was some sort of tragedy that I didn't refinish the bottom. So that's what I'm gonna do today. So these are gonna be a pain in the ass to sand. The flat surfaces are okay, but the curves here are gonna be super annoying. For the curved locations here, I'm probably gonna take some fine steel wool and some stripper, sand it by hand. This I might be able to take the orbital to. I just have to be careful not to go too far like I did with the tabletop. So lessons learned from removing the varnish from the tabletop. I let the stripper soak for 15 minutes per the instructions. When I'm actually going to strip it, I put another layer on to kind of lubricate it, and it makes removing the varnish a lot easier. The curved parts are pretty annoying. The scraper doesn't really do an even job on it. So I've got this 000 steel wool that kind of does the job. Got the varnish stripped off of the feet and the center leg. These rounded parts are really annoying. I'm finally done sanding. So now I just gotta clean off the surface with some acetone and then I apply the oil. Ruby monocoat, my second batch of it has finally come in. Look at the difference in color. So I'm gonna apply coat to that. And since I'm gonna probably have a lot extra, I'm gonna apply a second coat to the tabletop. The leg came out pretty good. These came out fine. Really disappointed in the way the feet came out. It's not really even. Maybe it'll look better once it's assembled, but sanding probably wasn't even. That's probably why I didn't stain the same color, but we'll assemble this in a few days and we'll see what it looks like. Tried touching it up some more. I honestly think I made it worse. Kind of disappointed with how it came out. You can see some of the patches everywhere. It's not bad, but it's not great. I mean, it's okay, but it's done. Overall, just learn how to sand better. So don't sand through the veneer, and even sanding, light sanding, I guess. I obviously didn't know what I was doing, and that's why I have all these dark and light spots. Watch a few more videos on how to sand stuff, so thanks for watching, guys.